All right, so this is the post-talk for our Hypno Coach session number 5. We just had a wonderful, wonderful session improving our test-taking skills, which means improving retention, recall, and ability to absorb all that information, feeling really, really great in those pressure and time-sensitive exam environments. So let's talk a little bit more about steps that you can take to prepare for your exam. We already talked about this a little bit in the pre-talk, and I'll add some more information now. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and add them into our chat. So when you're preparing for an exam, what so many of us do, what I know I used to do while I was in college and studying for my master's, and one of our viewers has been writing to me and letting me know he's the same way, always doing things at the last minute. When we give ourselves so little time to absorb so much information, and then we get into an exam setting and we're under pressure to remember, it is often that anxiety that keeps us from remembering in the first place. So the example I gave before was if you've ever been talking to a friend and the name of an actor or a restaurant or an ingredient you used while cooking is just on the tip of your tongue, but because you're under so much pressure, you just can't remember it. It's the same circumstance when you are in an exam setting, right? Now, if you were deeply relaxed, that information would just come back up and out. And how do we know that that's the case? Because later on in the day, when you're doing your laundry or you're going for a walk or you're just relaxing, the name of that actor or of that ingredient or of that key thing you needed to remember, it just comes up and out. So what we want to make sure is that you are deeply relaxed while you're preparing for the exam and that you're deeply relaxed while you're taking the exam. Now you already know how to hypnotize yourself. We've had 5 hypno coaching sessions, and in every single one of them you have hypnotized yourself. You start off by taking nice, long, deep, letting go breaths. You actively concentrate on relaxing different parts of your body. I tend to go from the top of the head to the bottoms of the feet, but you can certainly go from the feet up to the top of the head. It's as simple as saying to yourself, I'm relaxing my forehead now. I'm relaxing the tiny muscles next to my eyes now. I'm relaxing my jaw now. I'm relaxing my shoulders now. I'm slowing my heartbeat now. See, and I go straight into it. And the more hypnosis you do, the more self-hypnosis, the more hypno-coaching sessions with me, you'll see you just go right out really quickly. When you're in an exam setting, when you're in a place where you're studying, you don't want to be so deeply relaxed that your eyes stay closed. But you know how to relax your mind and your body. You really do. And it helps if you steer clear of caffeine. So often that's the first thing we grab. Oh, I have to study. And we just knock our entire nervous system out with all of that caffeine. If you just bring some water, stay deeply relaxed, highly focused, and study for 20-minute increments. 20 minutes of highly focused, deeply relaxed studying will yield amazing results. After those 20 minutes, you take a quick break. Just a quick break, just to clear your mind, give yourself an opportunity to retain that information, to allow it to really soak in. And then you come back, 20 more minutes of highly focused, deeply relaxed concentration. When you're in the exam setting, when you're getting ready to take the test, same thing. You calm your whole mind, calm your whole body, and you just trust and know and remain confident that that information is there, that it's going to come up and out. And visualizing your subconscious mind as a very neatly organized, tidy place where all of your information is stored away Sometimes I like to think there's a little librarian in there in my subconscious mind, and all I have to do is hand her the ticket, send her a little electronic message saying, this is the information I need right now. Can you please provide me with it? Now, some additional proof that this works are these hypno-coaching sessions. I don't prepare for these in advance, partially because I've done thousands of individual sessions at this point, and I've gone through so many topics so many times that I just know, I innately know that it's within me to say exactly what my viewers need to hear at that time. So as I'm hypnotizing you, I'm also hypnotizing myself, which means for the entire session, I'm hypnotized. I say exactly the right thing at exactly the right time without a whole lot of chaotic or stressful preparation. So trust that you know the information. You know it. It's there. Trust that you're going to be able to recall it when you need to. Stay deeply relaxed and highly focused, and these will become an enjoyable, easy, effortless experience for you. This also applies to learning a new language. The Pimsleur approach is one of my favorites. My fiance is Brazilian, and I'm learning Portuguese. And languages can be very intimidating because you're very vulnerable when you're trying to speak a new language for the first time. And you have to know that when you first start speaking, you're going to sound like a second grader if you're lucky. And yet if you stay deeply relaxed and highly focused, I listen to the Pimsleur approach for 30 minutes a day, and that's it. If I have some additional time, I'll do some Rosetta Stone. And I just trust that I am absorbing this information. And before you know it, my fiance will be speaking a new language. Well, not his new language to me. He'll be speaking in Portuguese, and I understand him. And slowly, bit by bit, I can start to speak back. And one of our viewers just wrote in, thank you so much for a wonderful session. It's like the word exam even makes my heart rate go up. Thank you so much for writing in. And that's something that's very, very common. So what we want to do is we want to change your association to that word. And I'll give you an example. I had a job when I first came out of college that was just insanely stressful. And I had just gotten my first iPhone ever. And I decided to make my boss's ringtone specific, so that wherever I was, whatever I was doing, I would know that it was him calling me. This just set me up to have panic attacks all day. Every time I heard that ringtone, my heart would drop into my stomach. I wouldn't be able to breathe. I would just feel horrible. So you would think I would change the freaking ringtone or I would do something about it. But at that time, I didn't know anything about hypnosis or neurolinguistic programming. So I just suffered on that way. Eventually, when I left that job, I got rid of that ringtone, and I remember I was on a plane one time. It was a red-eye from California back to New York. I was exhausted. The plane landed, and as soon as the plane landed, the person behind me, their phone rang, and it was that ringtone that used to be for my boss, and my heart dropped. And I went into a panic, and I couldn't understand why. I didn't remember at first. I had essentially trained myself like Pavlov's dog with the whistle. I had made myself a dog to that whistle. So what we're going to do is we're going to reframe your association with the word exam. Okay, there's a couple different ways you can do this. There's a tapping technique called ETF, where you can tap different meridian places on your body in order to get rid of it. There's another wonderful technique I learned from Shelley Stockwell, where you pinch a pressure point in your hand and you disassociate from that word, okay? So I'm going to make an entire session about this tomorrow. That's what we're going to do. If there's any word, a particular fear or phobia that you have in your life, tomorrow in our live session I'm going to teach you how to undo it. So for you, our viewer, you will be able to do this for exams. For anyone else who's listening, you can do this for fear of flying, fear of spiders, fear of anything. Fear of ending up alone, you know, a horrible ringtone, a food that makes you sick. We're going to cut the power line for you that for so long has said this particular thing causes this negative reaction in my life. We're going to cut that cord and we're going to create a new electrical circuit in your mind. Okay, so that'll be something for you to look forward to. And I know that you're really, really going to enjoy it. If you have any additional questions about today's session, you can go ahead and type them in now. Again, tomorrow we're going to focus on overcoming fears and phobias with this great technique. It's one that I use all the time with my clients in our individualized hypno-coaching sessions. It can also be done over the phone. I work with phone clients all the time, Skype clients. It's a really, really powerful experience. So just to recap for today's session, it is amazing. Yeah, it absolutely is. You're going to love it. Just to recap for today's session, when you're studying, you want to be deeply relaxed, highly focused. You want to make sure that you're doing it in short segments to give your mind time to absorb what you've just learned. You need to remain confident that you know this stuff. If you've read it, you know it. It's there. And if you've read it more than once, it's there in higher priority. Okay? So I'm going to give the example again that I discussed in the pre-talk just because I'm recording this one and the first one didn't get recorded. I have hypno-coaching clients who come to me all the time because they've misplaced valuables. I had someone recently who had her diamond ring. She put it in a new place, a new safe space, where she didn't want to lose it and she didn't want anything to happen to it, and then for the life of her she could not remember where she put it. So eventually she tried everything. She came to me for a regression hypno-coaching session. So when she was deeply relaxed, we went back in time, and this has been going on for 2 months. Can you imagine the stress of this? This is like her entire child's college fund that she was looking for. We took her back in time. She was deeply relaxed. She was really calm. She wasn't panicking. And she remembered exactly where she put it. She called me as soon as she got home and said, "Oh my God, I'm so happy. Thank you so much." So if we can help someone find their lost diamond ring, we can absolutely use hypnosis to recall information that you've read and studied plenty of times. So lay off the caffeine, drink lots of water, stay deeply relaxed, highly focused for short periods of time, and you can learn and retain and recall absolutely anything. I really, really appreciate everybody tuning in today. I'm also going to put this post-talk up on Ustream and YouTube so that you can take a look at the discussion surrounding the session. And I really look forward to you tuning in tomorrow, where we're going to break fears and phobias. Any association, negative association you have with anything in your life, I'm going to teach you how to break, how to sever that neurolinguistic pathway which says A causes stress. And we're just going to have it be A causes B, and B can be whatever you want. B can be confidence, B can be relaxation. You're going to create a new equation in your life. So thank you so much. I look forward to reading your comments. I thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing these free sessions with your friends and family. See you again tomorrow.